Good afternoon or evening, Burlingame community. Hope everybody's well. Want to do a shout out for the Washington Wildcats. I finally collected my seventh hat to cover my sunburnt potentially scalp, and finally have a Washington Wildcats hat. Fantastic. I do love my caps, and I really appreciate that. Just a couple of quick highlights. No huge announcements, but I want to bring a couple of things to everybody's attention besides all the announcements in this week's newsletter. First of all, we have Prop 28 coming up on the November 8th ballot. I know a lot of us vote by mail ahead of time or fill out our ballots ahead of time. Prop 28 I'm bringing to everybody's attention just as an informational item. It is a proposition that is to give funding for the arts back to schools in California. That funding went away quite some time ago now. And the formula that's been in place since 2013, which is where we get our funding now, excluded funding for the arts as another extra, sort of like the extras that BCE helps us pay for now. A lot of those were removed. So funding for the arts is back on the ballot. And I would ask everybody to read about it and consider it. It's called Prop 28. I've attached some of the public information that came across my desk to share with the community. I, of course, as staff can't advocate for it, but I do want to make sure that everybody is well informed. So take a look at that and consider your thoughts about it on November 8th. I had a lot of great classroom visits this week. Teachers, thank you so much. I was in 10 classrooms and thoroughly enjoying myself, and got to read to a kindergarten class. Jenny Coleman, thank you. All the other teachers watched me sort of wandering around and interacting with their students. And Jenny, you put me to work, and I so thoroughly enjoyed the math lesson with you as well as the reading. It was just a kick, a lot of fun. And I always know I'm in an experienced teacher's classroom when they put me to work. Love that. It was such a good time. And just really enjoyed the students. So I got to spend a whole day where I just said, you know what, I don't want to be doing reports or anything like that today or meetings. That seems like my life. I'm just going to be around kids. And it was fantastic. I spent the day in McKinley and in Washington classrooms. It was great. Also want to remind everybody that we have been developing our new district by-area election maps. This will be moving forward at the next general election in 2 years. And those by-area election maps are to elect new trustees. So we've been looking at districts and how to develop them because of the CVRA, the California Voter Rights Act. And our need to come up with by-area elections. So we have 3 sets of draft maps. The criteria that we used with the demographer to develop those maps were, number 1, that every area should represent more than one elementary school so that we didn't feel like each trustee was only interested in the interest of one local elementary school, but multiple because they all represent BIS. And also that, of course, that they were equally divided, that's the law, within reason, and that they were as close to the city maps as possible so that we didn't confuse people with you belonging to 2 different potential districts. So that was the criteria so far. We've gotten very little feedback. We would like your feedback if you have any suggestions on the maps or questions. Again, the link is attached, or you can come to next Tuesday's board meeting. Come at 6 o'clock. We're going to be having a hearing on the maps, and you can participate. And if you have comments on the map in advance, click the link in today's newsletter, and I will read them to the board. And we're just making sure that the community gets what it wants out of the map creation. We've been having this at every board meeting for the past couple of months, but very little input so far, which is fine if folks aren't really concerned. But take a look and give us your thoughts. Everybody take care. Have a great weekend.